Well, we got another Honda here. This just got dropped off a few minutes ago. This is a 1989 Honda Fourtrax 300. It should be a fairly quick job, but we'll see. I mean, you never want to say that because then it ends up being an all-day project, but I'll show you what's going on. So the owner of this actually just bought it like a week ago, and they decided to do an oil change, which is a great idea. However, when they went to do an oil change, they ended up, this top bolt ended up breaking on them. He said he turned it just a little bit and it snapped off, so we're gonna have to fix that. So yeah, at this point I gotta bring it in the garage, see what we're doing with it. He's already drained the oil out, put a new filter in it, put fresh oil back in. We're probably gonna lose some if we pull this cover back off. So he brought another cord of the GN4 I can fill it up with in case we do lose some, so that's good. He did actually go ahead and try to fix it. He took a drill, drilled through the center of the bolt, and then tried to use the easy out, but he said it just wouldn't come no matter what he did. He ended up bringing it here, so let's get to work. Actually, let's look at this thing first because this thing is clean. Plastics definitely have been out in the weather all its life, I think. They actually don't look too bad from a distance, but you get up close and they're all very textured and they're not the best. But I mean, if you look at this engine, it is clean. There is no leaks or anything other than where they just changed the oil, obviously. You got big old balloon tires. Exhaust is solid on this thing. Just very dry. I mean, there's no leaks in this engine. Very nice. We're missing a bolt here. I wonder if he pulled that out for the other side. I don't know. We'll put a new one in it though. Actually, it's got original front tires, I believe. They're the Otsu H-Track tires. I bet them are original. This is, like I said, 1989. You know what I'm really wondering about? Let's check that gas tank out. These things are always rusted. If you find a clean one, it's very rare. Wow. Gas cap looks brand new. But I don't know if you can see in there. Great, but that is clean. Super clean in there. Alright, well now I'm impressed. Anyways, let's go ahead, get this thing in the shop, see what we can do about that broken bolt. It's already on a trailer, might as well drag it over there. Let's go see if I can find something that runs though. I can definitely use this Bombardier Trackster. I actually went ahead and get this running. Actually, yeah, I didn't do a video on it, but I got this running earlier today. Put a battery in it and she fired right up. It did take a minute. I had to pull the airbox off, put my hand over the car. This thing seems to lose prime somewhere. I don't know if it's got a little bit of a leak in the fuel line or what, but when it sits for a long time, this has been sitting all winter. When it sits for a long time, you gotta crank this thing over and over and over before it'll finally start. Most of the time it won't start unless you pull the airbox lid off, put your hand over the carburetor, prime the fuel up, and she fires right up. And that's what I ended up doing to it. So anyways, I don't have to do that right now, or I shouldn't have to because, like I said, I just had it running today, so we'll fire up. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a Bombardier Trackster 500. I wanted to get it going because the Bombardier Quest left yesterday. I don't know, just having that machine around kind of made me want to fix this thing, get this thing going again, so. Anyways. Get this thing on out of here. Idled up a little high. This thing's a little strange. It might look automatic because of the shifter over here. This is just a low range, high range, neutral, and reverse. You actually have a 5-speed foot shifter down here. What's kind of funny about this machine, I actually have 5 gears in reverse. Oh, come on back here. That's gonna have to go way down. little low, but that's all right. Not dragging or anything. All right, and we're off. Go ahead and get the old girl in there. Okay, we'll get this thing opened up. One pin, 2 pins, just like that. This thing out of gear here. I think I got it in reverse. There we go. She wants to roll. Beautiful, no pushing. Oh, I guess I can just shut this off. I was gonna move it, but there's no sense in it. Alright, well the first thing we want to do is come over here and check out the situation. Alright, so we're going to need an 8mm to get those 2 bolts remaining off, to get that filter off. That's what I was looking for. You know, instead of wasting all the oil, I'll probably just tip this machine up a little bit so the oil drains back down before I pull this cap off. Oh, which means I'll have to go grab something. Couple of tires should do the trick. Not gonna raise it up super high, but should be enough. I'll let a little air out of this tire so it doesn't want to roll like it is. That's a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the fuel off. We'll throw down an oil pan just in case. Now I can remove these 2 bolts for this oil filter cap. Got that. I'm gonna lose a little oil. Brand new filter, as you can see. I'll pull this spring out here. I'm just gonna shove this with some paper towels, shop towels, because I don't want any shavings getting in there. If we have to drill, looks like, yeah, they definitely drilled that. Oh boy. Almost looks like they got into the edge here. That's not great. I guess I want to try to heat this thing. I'm going to remove this little rubber O-ring. Yeah, my fingernails aren't cutting it. There we go. Oh, I'm going to need a screw extractor, easy out. That's too big. I'm definitely not liking what I'm seeing in there. It almost looks like they're to the threads, which is not great, but I'm going to try to heat it up and see if we can get it out. Yeah, first. So I guess these paper towels shouldn't be in there. I guess that one's might be okay. I think my best bet is get the thinnest one I can. That's going to go in there so I get the most grip. So we'll try that. But first things first, we got to throw some heat on there. Can't believe this has this Kickstarter shield. Most of these are already gone. Pulled the rubber O-ring out. These are just copper washers, so there's nothing that's gonna... Other than that, we'll get rid of that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get enough heat. Alright. Little WD in there. Okay. Let's see if she wants to move now. That's too small. This is probably a hair too big. Yeah, the problem is it's pretty much into the threads. Well, that sucks. If she's gonna come out, it's gonna come out right now. If not, we're drilling it and retapping it. The only problem is it's kind of offset. I don't like that part, but... And she is not moving one bit. Alright. I would obviously rather not drill and retap, especially because the hole isn't centered. But that's what we gotta do. So go ahead and shove these in here so we don't get any shavings in it. Like my original plan. Same thing in that little oil passage. Pretty sure that's going to be an M6 by 1, but we'll check. Just check by threading in one of the good threads. Yep, she's going in nice. So that's what we need, M6 by 1. We can also take the threads on the bolt and just line them up, make sure they line up. Perfect. Alright, we get the tap, we get the 5mm drill. And we can get to drilling. I really didn't want to do this. I wanted that to come out of there, but obviously things don't happen the way we want, and they happen how they're gonna. So, especially since how it's off-centered, I don't like that. I don't know if I can. I don't think it's gonna allow me. Oh, that's broke off. I'll have to chip that out of there. Because that bolt, it's like half the bolt had gone up. I think it's at its point where it's so thin. Maybe it's just a piece of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these threads too good after seeing this. Worst case scenario, we put a helicoil in there. Well, I guess I'll just try to drill it. See what we can come up with here. I'm trying to put pressure on the right so I can actually get it where it should be, but she might go where she wants to go. We'll see. Not sure how far back that goes. We'll check it with one of these. Yep, so we're good there. Go ahead and vacuum out that stuff we got on there so far. Now we'll take our tap. We'll pray that it's straight enough. It actually looks pretty decent. I'll go ahead and get this as straight as we can here. When we get this out of here, we'll check the threads by putting the cap on, torquing it down to the correct spec. If it holds, we know we're good. If it doesn't hold, well, we'll have to drill it out a little bigger, put a helicoil in there. Now what a helicoil does, I'm sure a lot of you know, but some of you might not. You drill the hole bigger and then tap it for a bigger size, and then the helicoil has threads on each end. So in the end, on the small end of that helicoil, you end up with the same size thread is what's supposed to be there in there, the M6. I have plenty of them around here because this is a very common size on four-wheelers that strip out. They're so small, and they're known to break, strip, all kinds of stuff. So, like I said, we're going to check this first, though. I'll pull this out of here because I would love to just keep our original threads. It doesn't always work like that, though. That out. Need a little air out of that air compressor. A little brake clean. Want to thread this in here, see how she does. Certainly a little loose at the beginning here because the drill made it a little ovaled. But I think we'll be okay. We'll find out. Like I said, worst case scenario, we'll put a helicoil in there. I'm going to be careful and try to get this out of here without any shavings. Go ahead and put a new O-ring in here. Oil filter, they already had this on, but as you can see, this side and spring towards the engine. So they get it on the right way. I'm going to wipe this off though. There's a lot of oil on the outside. Okay, we'll start putting our bolts in. 2. I always just want to go ahead and start these by hand, get them hand tight. Honestly, it feels good, so that should be a good sign. We'll know for sure when we put some torque on it. Alright, we're looking at 7 foot-pounds, 84 inch-pounds. 84. Go ahead. Tighten these up. 84 inch-pounds is not a lot. Right there. That's why a lot of these do get over-torqued. Right there. Right there. We'll go back, double check. Beautiful. Nice. Go ahead, get this thing down. I didn't forget about this side. I went and grabbed another bolt. A lot of dirt in that. Go ahead and clean that out. Yeah, look at the junk coming out of there. I'd say that's been out for a few days. Certainly want to clean it out, otherwise we'll end up the same way as the other side. She's going in awfully hard. Probably going to run my tap through this thing. Just clean the threads up a little bit. Yeah, they feel good. They're just a little tight. Probably got some junk in there still. Get that all the way through. Oh yeah, I saw the... This is the stuff it pushed through it. Now the tap's going nice and easy. A little bit more cleaner. Now this should go in nice and smooth. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted. This is gonna be it's the same size bolt, gonna be the same amount of torque, 84 inch-pounds. Right there. Turn the fuel on. Clean up our mess a little bit. Certainly want to check the oil before we start her up. It's right there. Any of you guys that know these 300s know that that's usually not there. Who am I kidding? 300s. Usually any Honda's missing that. Let's see how this thing runs. Choke. Started right up. Haven't had this thing running at all. Let's bring her outside, try it out. The trailer's right in my way. There we go. Get this tractor and trailer out of the way. Tractor and trailer. Sounds kind of cool. Now we can go grab that little 300. Okay. Grab that pan out of there. rinse off all the excess oil, make sure we're not leaking anywhere. Time to recheck our oil level right now. Looks good. Oh, I gotta try this thing out a little bit because I haven't had a Honda Fourtrax 300 in years. It's been a long, long time. I did used to have one of these. I had a four-wheel drive maybe a couple years ago. Actually, I got a few. We'll go check them out. This is a good runner. Might be idled up a little high. It's idling down. Maybe not. All right. This is a nice little rig. These aren't small, low to the ground. This thing's got big back tires on it. Bigger than they're supposed to be, but these things are so quiet. Lug them around. They're pretty nice. I'll show you the ones I got. I got a few 300s around here. Oh yeah. And there they are. Yeah, I guess just literally a few, 3 of them. She does run pretty good. Yeah, we get this blue one. This is the one I wanted to fix. This is a 4-wheel drive. I think, oh, what is this, a 91, 93? 1991. Yeah, so 1991 Fourtrax 300 4x4. I like the blue. I've always liked the blue. That's the original tank that went on this. This is the plastic one, but this one's got no spark. I gotta fix it one of these days. But yeah, I mean, she's got some other issues too, obviously muffler and stuff. This one, this is a 2-wheel drive actually. This is a that's a 1988 right there. This one I bought, I don't know, I paid dirt cheap money for it. It's got no rear end, obviously missing a lot of parts. That one, I overpaid for it, but it is a 4-wheel drive. I didn't know much about it, but yeah, definitely overpaid for that one. Anyways, let's hop back on our little test drive. Oh, these things start so quick, so easy. Just kind of a fun little rig, you know? You feel the bumps on them though. You definitely feel the bumps. Well, we made it back. Fun little rig, does it? It's actually got brakes, that's surprising. Got rear brakes? Nah, rear ones don't work, but the front ones work. They work quite well. That's unusual for a Honda. Especially one that's just as old as me. And we look good. Everything's nice and dry in there. I guess this thing can go back to its owner. This was kind of a surprise. He just brought this over. He wasn't expecting this. It's the same owner as the Honda Ruckus I just did, so couldn't say no, had to do it for him. I'll load this up, he can come get it, and I can get back onto my regular routine. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.